Hello there. Welcome back to Billy Ho Sports. We are currently deep diving into the Haskell Saturday Stakes. There's a $500,000 guaranteed pick four that we're going to do a video on. I'm going to do a deep dive into the Haskell Stakes itself. That's where Split the Pot draw number 2 will take place. I'm going to do a separate Haskell betting video, probably out tomorrow. Today's video is going to cover the Matchmaker and the Monmouth Cup. Check the description for details on how to get into the Split the Pot contest, the rules and such. We're going to be doing that all summer and right into the Breeders' Cup 2025 at Del Mar. So basically, in a nutshell, if you subscribe to the channel, you leave a comment, that'll get your name in the draw. Always be smashing that like button to support the channel. Use the hashtag BHS too. So basically, we're going to get into these races, and you can give me your pick of the litter between the two races, which horse you like the best. Give me your best bet, because I've got kind of a best bet myself. So we're going to jump right into things and get to this Matchmaker, because as you see in the background, we're bringing sexy back, and I'll tell you why. Let's go. Okay, so it's race number 5 on the card. It's a 1 1/8 on the turf. It is the grade 3 Matchmaker. And what I've been doing a lot lately, just out of curiosity, is looking up the names of a lot of these. Some of them are self-explanatory, but I thought, well, what's the Matchmaker Stakes? And then I just reading through the comments here, and right here at the bottom, the top 3 finishers receive a one-time breeding right to WinStar Stallion Timberlake. Bringing sexy back. Now you got it. So that is partially, that would be why they call it the Matchmaker, because they're hooking up these horses for some breeding. So big time race though, $300,000 purse, fillies and mares, 3-year-old and upward, going out of this little do believe it's going out of this little chute right here. Like I explained yesterday, this little chute is like for the 1 1/8 turf. It's only a 7 furlong oval, so this diagonal chute gets them out and around and down. So we start with Grayosh, and that is Chad Brown. Chad Brown owns this race. Chad Brown kind of picks on little brother over here at Monmouth to pad his stats and his bank account, so to speak. But he's just that good. And you know, if you want to beat him, you got to stop him. You know, it's just like football in that sense. You can't stop the run until you stop it. Matchmaker Stakes. So Flavian Pratt, hot fire as usual, gets to ride this one for the about the half a dozen times. Plenty of great graded stakes experience. Not all the best results, but some decent run here and there. Only managing the 4th place finish though in the ground saving trip at the Bogey. It should have been a probably better outcome for him. But I mean, dynamic pricing was pretty tough horse, I would say. So they dropped him into the OC 75K in 2X though, so no joke. But he just got kind of ate up with this chasing this slow pace. He probably should have pressured things a little sooner because the stablemate here, Rahahan or whatever that's called, to just took off on him down the stretch and blew them all out. That's why he lost by so many lengths. So I'm not going to get there. It's funny that Flavian Pratt's riding maybe my 3rd favorite of the 3 Browns. So this one's the one that's a major threat. The number 2, Sacred Wish. And so that's George Weaver. Johnny V rides. Lost this race just by a neck last year. Props beating this matriarch here was impressive, beating Gina Romantica and AG Bullet. Just really, really good. So ran up against Be Your Best, ran 2nd by a neck in the Pegasus World Cup Filly Mare Turf. That's pretty classy right there. And then comes off the layoff in the Jenny Wiley and then finishes 4th. But I do have some things that I've noticed about Johnny V and just some of the races, and it may be just purely coincidental, but he's a little bit off on his timing on some of these races where he's trying to get him home. Like he missed this one by a neck. But I don't really blame him too much for that. But there's some other races that I've watched where he's just hasn't fired in time. Like he waited in the Jenny Wiley for like a written letter of invitation to go, and then he just closed within 2 1/4 lengths by the time they got to the finish line. So he needs to just be a little bit more aggressive, I think, in getting it done. And Sacred Wish is definitely capable of winning this race. So Spaladay, and this is number 2, Chad Brown. The Miss Liberty was a really impressive closing effort. That horse hit the stretch, and I mean, Sam Marin uncorked him down the stretch. He almost took flight. It looks like he was running so fast he almost ran right out of his shoes, basically. So it might just really like the Monmouth surface, 2 for 2 so far on the Monmouth track. You go back here to this Boiling Springs, and she did much the same thing. She hit the stretch and then left him in the dust with another Sammy. This time it's Camacho, and so blew him out there in that Black Stakes right there in Monmouth this time last year. So 2 races like that, it leads me to believe if the horse likes the turf, could be an upset candidate, but probably going to take a little bit of money. But I would say the least of the 3 in my opinion. And so some good races. The Bogey and Hillsborough grade 2 weren't that great, but has a grade 2 win at Aqueduct, going a mile and an eighth last October. So this one's a threat, I think. And then you have No Mo Candy, and that's like about 2 days after Halloween. I got No Mo Candy, but made her 2025 debut, Mint Julep at Churchill Downs. Ran pretty tough early, but then just faded away, pressed, yielded. And I just really enjoy watching Pinup Betty run. Pinup Betty is such a good turf filly. I can't wait to see her go again. Hopefully, she moves up into some bigger graded stakes races, but she took that Mint Julep with ease. But the previous race back in November was the Grade 3 Pebbles, and that was going a mile, and she was able to, No Mo Candy was able to get it done then. That was 3 in a row after breaking the maiden, then moved up to OC, then hit the Pebbles. So right on time to end the season, and then comes out maybe a little ambitious for Safi, putting her, because that was an awful long layoff, going from November to all the way to June. So she maybe just needed that race. But if you think that she needed that race and she's going to improve, then she could run back up to that Pebbles form, or right in this 92, 93 range, this type of race, which would make her competitive. Now, this is probably going to be the most popular and the favorite of the Chad Browns, and probably my favorite too. It's Sagista. I read Ortiz up. Just a game. The struggles in the first 2 races might put people off this horse, which I hope. But the horse has just had so much back class, going back to the maiden breaker for 100K, and then backed it up with the Wonder Again grade 2 win, and then came right back and went to the Belmont Oaks Invitational, going a mile and 3/16 on the inner turf, and had it all the way until Cinderella's Dream ran her down. And then she went up against, in the Modesty on the debut on Derby Day, and ran up against She Feels Pretty and give me another. So solid, a fourth, and did lose significantly, but still a very strong race. And then goes up to Grade 1 Company in the Just a Game against Dynamic Pricing, but was steadied and pinched down the stretch and just never really got into that race. So sometimes I'll give him a pass on that. And that's what I'm going to do here. This is a drop in class for her. She's plenty good enough to win. So keep an eye on that one. And then you got the number 6, 5 Towns, and that's Grand Motion. Luis Saez aboard. Lots of stakes experience on this one as well. She hasn't shown me she can get it done though. Some good results in non-graded stakes, but there's a couple of big timers here that she hasn't been able to get over the hump yet. Ocean Club moving on up, takes a back seat to them. Gallerette takes a back seat to Fluffy Socks. Came back from near the rear in the Canadian. That was pretty good, but that was Full Count Felicia. I'll never forget that race. Full Count Felicia got so far out in front of everybody that you just were waiting and waiting and waiting. She's up by 15, 17 lengths. And you think, oh, well, sooner or later they're going to start catching her. And they never did. I mean, they did down the stretch, but not until she won. So that was kind of a wild race way back in the day, last August, that is. But she did start moving up this one. Nice 97 right here. And then, but the Eatontown wasn't that great of an effort. Probably should have been better at 2.5 to 1. Stalked, bid, and weakened going a mile and a 16th. So this is a stretch out. So I don't like 5 Towns too much. I think the horse is a pretty quality horse, but I don't know, the distance should be there, but just hasn't shown it yet. Madam Mischief, probably a local, also ran. Has some good finishes at Monmouth, back-to-back races here, a second and a win. Umberto Rispoli is going to take the mount here. But Jorge Delgado, the connections are pretty good, but I can't get there with a cheap horse like this. No stakes, limited stakes experience. Did run with the Chad Brown horse, ran second in the Boiling Springs last year, but you can see just middling results, and never really moved up in class. Moved, just kind of just hovering around in the optional claiming, and then these little N1X races for fillies. So no thanks on that. That's the Madam Mischief. So basically, it comes down to this: Sacred Wish versus the Chad Browns, it feels like. But the number 5, I think Sagista should have a comfortable pace to press on. So I'm going to take her to win. And then I'll probably, I'll definitely be looking at is it Spaladay? Spaladay is a sleeper. And then obviously Sacred Wish is going to be in there somewhere. I'll have to take a look at the first Chad Brown horse. With Pratt aboard, gets a big bump, but might be just a massive, massive underlay. So I think this one's going to come down to the day, 20 minutes to post time, what the odds are. I'm going to have an idea though, because I'm going to be liking the 5 horse, and then I'm going to be liking the 2 horse and probably the 3 horse. So something along those lines. So let's go right to race number 6, which is the Monmouth Cup. That's 9 furlongs on the dirt. Let's take a look. Okay, we're going a mile and an eighth on the dirt. This is going to be 3-year-olds and up, and going to be a little bit chalky here. So we're going to have to try to figure out a way to beat this Just a Touch horse, who I don't know. I'm still, the jury's still out in my opinion, but this is a grade 3 race, and we start with number 1 Grand Yako and trainer Juan Avila. Get down, Juan. He's got 10 wins and 35 starts, which is very high percentage, 29%, and he's got uh 6 second places and 5 thirds. So 21 out of 35 in the money sounds pretty good to me. Doing a pretty good job. And Jorge Vargas, no joke, no slouch. He's got 11 wins and 52 mounts, 21% winning percentage. So the connections look pretty good here, but the prices are cheap. I like the Sire City of Light, a half brother to Fierceness. So that is worth a look, but just a little short on the class and the speed of some of these others here. I mean, we're looking for a 99 speed figure to win this race. You're not jumping from an 84 to a 99 in one race from OC 20K company. So that's out. So Rabbit Hound, another one, just OC 40K, this, that, and the other, beaten by weaker speed rating. I mean, time constraints, I could go on about it, but I'm not going to play them. Classic Catch is the first one I definitely will have interest in. Todd Pletcher brings this 5-year-old in after a bang-up performance at Saratoga. Willie D's won that race for 100K right here, but a 107 speed figure for this race. And Willie D's actually was a stakes winner next out. Won probably, I think it was like a 200K stakes race the next time out. I can't recall the name of it, but it was like a listed or a black stakes type thing. So it was decently up there, just short of a grade 3, really. So, but I mean, the 101 middle and the 108 late pace is huge. So I don't know if it's going to be. I don't think you're looking for a bounce because he's had plenty of time off. So, but the jump from 89 to 107 is kind of crazy. So maybe beware of the bounce. But he's run 99s and 96, 97 right here. He just took that dip at the previous race. Compared to which was a super slow pace, which that's what cost him. But he ran against Ben Duke and Film Star, so ran third there. So I think that's that 107 is probably inflated. I watched the race and he didn't look that impressive, but 107, it is what it is sometimes. But that's by far the best here. And then you got just a touch, who has just massive triple digits, 104s, back-to-back 104s versus allowance and optional claiming. Good horses. Parchment Party won a big stakes race recently. Gould's Gold is a competitor. So all those down there, and then he ran in. This was a bad idea. I just chalked that up to the Brad Cox bad idea train. Going to the Met Mile, facing Raging Torrent, Fierceness, ran a quality third, but it was just a super heavy, sloppy track that took its toll on many a horse that weekend, and really took its toll on Fierceness, who lost that race to Raging Torrent. Raging Torrent was the one that outlasted everybody, but they looked like they were just really running in quicksand there for a stretch drive on a race that I didn't go back and look at the time differences, but a race that's probably run a lot faster than 135 at a mile. So then you look at the previous 2 races. He won by 7, won by 10, going a mile and an eighth, Keeneland Fairgrounds. So just blowing people out. The Iowa Derby, I don't know how the hell that horse lost. That was last year in July, though, so probably still maturing. But this horse by far the classiest horse. But I do like the number 5 Cadet Corps. Might be a candidate to crash the board here at a price. I'm not sure what kind of price we're going to get, but I'll probably run the odds on the ticker tape underneath, because I do believe they're out by the time I'm filming this. 6-year-old has the ability to sit off the pace and make an early move, but can also run up tight like he did here if the pace is slow. So you're not going to sneak up on him, but he has run up against some faster paces, pure presser and late runner. So if they do run one of these plus 21, plus 15s, it's possible he could get in there and get some. So get 6-year-old gelding by Will Take Charge, solid breeding. Javier Castellano needs to step his game up, in my opinion. He's a better jockey than this, 13% on the year across the board, basically. So at least he's a little better in routes. Now, Surface to Air is the next one. Managed to plod home for third in the slop at Monmouth. Salvatore Mile was great at stakes. So Bishop's Bay, Nelson Avenue. Bishop's Bay is a quality colt. And then you had the Chris Kringle underneath for a 4th place. And then before that, it was a 35K allowance to end the fall meet or toward the end of the fall meet of Churchill Downs. I'm not getting it. here. I know it says 17% trainer, and second off layoff, sharp workouts, all that stuff. But really, I don't see this horse running. Ran in the Monmouth Cup last year and got killed, but probably arguably a better field with Highland Falls in it and Tapit Trice. So I'm still going to pass. Vitality wins at 25K, but moved up to 35 and got beat as a favorite. Speed figures declining already. So we're looking for a 99, not an 89. So we're going to pass on that one too. And we'll probably skip out on Real Sensation, the very local horse. A little chance to be a hero here, though. Just maybe just try to get in the mix somehow. Maybe pick off a few tired horses and make a good showing of itself. So that will cover our two races for this day. Just a touch, I think, should hammer them. But I give a puncher's chance to Classic Catch. My mom always bets the 3-4. She was born in 43, so that she does the box 3-4-4-3. So I could definitely do that there. I would definitely use the value of the number 5 Cadet Corps underneath too. So maybe like a 3-4 exacta box, and then maybe like a trifecta, which would I put 3-4 on top, and then I would go over 3-4-5, and then overall, maybe just for a trifecta bet, something of that nature. And that'll be it for this video, but be on the lookout. The big Haskell betting strategy videos coming soon, the 500K pick 4 as well. Calling out Bull Bear Rider Trader, blah, 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 options, or however long his name was, Bull Bear Rider Options Trading in 3665. That's the username. He won the, I'm guessing, I shouldn't say he, but they won the $20 split the pot. So hit me up, or I've got a couple of alternate entries waiting to get in the mix. So thanks for sticking around, and lots more to come. See you soon.